Chad, thanks so much for coming in today. We are an EQ330 team creating a web application to help users manage their activities and stress levels. The app is designed to help you understand your stressors and eliminate them. We will hand you a task and then want you to interact with our prototype. We record and write down observations. As a reminder, we are testing the interface, not you. Do you have any questions or reservations before we start?
Nope, sounds good.
Great, here's your first task.
Thank you. Task number 1. You're finding it difficult to balance studies with your social life. You feel you've been managing time poorly and want to know relative time spent on activities this month. Okay. So I'll sign in with my username and password. Okay. So it looks like I've spent about 2 hours on piano and 1 hour on basketball this month. Let's go to view activities. So that's what it looks like I've been spending my time on today. Let's go to 1 week.
Awesome. Great, that was really excellent. We're going to start from the top and hand you the second task.
Sounds good.
Here you go, if you could read that again.
Task number 2. You started coding recently. You want to start logging how often you spend coding and how you feel. So we'll sign in again. Okay. Go to log task. Let's see. I'd like to add a category. So I will write in coding. How do I feel? Thank you. Feel a little bit stressed. I'll put it at a 6. And I spent 1 hour on this activity. And I'd put it at stressed and submit.
Great, that was awesome. Thanks so much. So here is your last task. Again, we're going to start from the beginning.
Okay. Task number 3. You land up having a lot of free time, but you feel uneasy and anxious pretty often. You want to review your daily activities to narrow down what's causing the stress. So, sign in again. And so, let's view activities. And I'd like to view the analytics on these activities. So it looks like there's a pretty wide spectrum. Let's see what that looks like. Was pretty relaxed at that point. And then let's go to the peak. Cool.
Well, great. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. That was really awesome. We're going to gather these results and kind of make a report, and you're free to go. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you.
So I'm gonna sign in. We felt like the user didn't have any problems with that page. We did feel like the user was not very sure about what the home page was actually displaying. So to fix that, we'd like to reword this so that the user knows that these are the most recent activities, but not all activities. And this could probably be recent activities, and then to actually view relative time spent, he would need to go to this page. And the other observation that we made was when he went to view activities, click on view activities, he wasn't sure about the slider button. So the affordances of the slider button weren't very evident. So we'd like to use a more common version of a slider button so that all users recognize it and know that it can be slid back and forth. And
In our second and third user interviews, we encountered some problems with our analytics page. There was also the problem of the slider and this not being super intuitive. In order to fix that, we have a resolution of making that similar to the slider on the activities page. Additionally, in the second user interview in particular, what was actually being graphed was unclear. So this indicator that stress was increasing vertically with the y-axis was not immediately evident. So offering some sort of clarity with that, maybe a text description or some sort of visual graphic in order to make that clear to the user. Lastly, this is particular in our third user interview, we had problems with the text boxes. If I could just take one as an example, that these were even pop up. So we're thinking about offering a default text box that says use the slider and analytics will appear, or some sort of way to make it more intuitive for the user that this is an option to them, that this is something we're creating.